Hey everybody, it's Chris, and for tonight's review we're going to go back in time a little bit to Dynamic Discs' first putter release, the Judge. You're going to get to see me putting and throwing in this video mostly with this blend, or actually I think all with this blend. And the reason I use this blend is for the comparison to a closer comparison to this BT Medium Crown as well as this Retro Macana. The reason I included the Macana and the Crown is because they are beaded putters, one from Latitude, one from Westside, that I'm fairly comfortable with as well. I could use either one. If I practiced with it enough, I would feel comfortable with them. But the Judge is actually my putter of choice. If you were to play around with me, you'd always see me with at least two putting, or classics for putting, fresher one, a more beat-in one, and then at least two for throwing, usually a beat-in soft for straight to turnover shots, and then a fresher blend for straight with a little bit of fade. And sometimes, especially on a shorter course, I'll even put one in between for just the dead straight, easy to throw, dead straight Judge. So, obviously, I really like the Judge. It is my go-to putter. It's one of my most thrown discs in the bag. On short courses, you'll see me throw them all the time. So, it's kind of hard for me to review because I'm like, oh, it's the greatest disc in my bag. But I want to stop for a second and say, when it comes to putters, my normal advice is, just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. A lot of people on the internet, way smarter than I am, have given this advice, but I'm going to repeat it. Find a putter that you're comfortable with, that feels good in your hand, and that you feel good about releasing and have confidence in. When you find that putter, that's the one for you. I hope it's the Judge because I think the Judge is great, but it might not be. It might be the Macana, it might be the Crown, it might be the Gauntlet, another putter I love from Latitude64. Look for the one that feels good in your hand, that you feel confident in, that's the one for you. But for this video, you get to see the Judge in flight, you get to see the Judge being putted, you get to see some comparison as well. And I'm going to link a video of field work where you get to see me throw the Judge even more, pointing because it'll be up there on an iCard. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please put them below so I can get back to you. This is an old release, but maybe it's time to look at that Judge again if you haven't recently. Be watching. I have about 60% of the footage I need for the Longbowman review. I'm a little bit hampered by a hip injury, so I didn't get quite what I wanted last time I was out. I want to add a little bit more to it, but I'm close. And also, I think I'm going to be working on a collaboration video with Pete Sickler and Ryan George to compare the Flow, the Trespass, and the Sword. So be looking for that one too. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Some, I don't want to say underrated, but some sneaky good long distance drivers there. So it'll be fun to test those out. Again, questions, put them below so I can get back to you and enjoy the throwing footage. And have a great night. Thanks. So here we are at Wendell Moore Park in LaGrange, Kentucky, just east of Louisville. I have the Blend Judge, the Retro Macana, and the BT Medium Crown. Most of these putts are going to be between 50, maybe just a little over 20 feet. It was definitely a warm-up. There was some wind, so I was adjusting to that as well. But you can see all of these putters perform well when thrown correctly, which I don't always do. You can see some of the misses on the ground. But like I said, you can see good flights, hitting the chains and sticking. All three putters are fairly similar inside 20. Here's my drive on hole 1. You get to see this shot in the Westside Longbowman review that's coming up. This is the Convict that I was comparing it to. The Longbowman's to the right, you just can't see it on the screen. But yeah, as you can see, Blend Judge, BT Medium Crown. Now we'll step up, bury the Retro Macana. A little bit later in the round, slightly uphill putt, maybe 18 feet. There's the Blend Judge, BT Medium Crown. Spoiler alert, you're not going to see the Macana because I missed the basket completely, so we'll edit that out. So out to the field to throw, Judge up top, Macana below. You're going to see the Judge on a nice little hyzer line, flips up flat, and then fades out at the end, where the Macana was on a little more hyzer, just holds it hyzer the whole way. These discs end up within 5 feet of each other. And this is a replay of the Judge. Again, there's that nice flip up, fairly neutral flight, and then fade out at the end. The Crown is going to be noticeably more overstable. Not severely, but noticeably more overstable. You're going to see it just hyzer a little bit more left than the other two. One of my favorite putter throws on the course. This is about 230, 240 with that downhill finish. The basket is on a downward slope, so you don't want to overthrow it. You want to just throw a nice touch shot onto the edge of the hill. Both of these putters end up within 15 feet. So this is a drifting hyzer throw. You're going to see with both the Judge and the Crown, I failed to give it enough height. The Crown's working hard to get over there with that extra stability. It gets within 35 feet. The Judge is going to stay about 45 feet wide. And you'll see a slight correction with the Macana on the bottom screen, again the same Judge shot. Just the extra height. These discs, because they're neutral, if they're thrown in a hyzer with that extra height, they're just going to carry left longer. This last pair of throws was a lot of fun because by this time my hip was feeling a little bit looser and I could rotate a little bit faster. This is about 295 to the pin. Both discs will end up within 20 feet. But you can see the Crown has that little bit extra stability kick. It's going to hyzer in a little bit closer, whereas the Judge holds that straight line. And you get to see it again here on this last throw in the open field. These discs will end up within 5-6 feet of each other, but again, very different flight lines. So, Judge, Crown, Macana, all great discs, but let's recap the Judge to close out. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Judge and a couple other putters in flight. Just to recap, it is a beaded stable flyer, meaning it's going to be a fairly neutral flight with a little bit of fade at the end, especially depending on what kind of plastic you're throwing. But if you're looking for a beaded putter, fairly straight with a little bit of reliable fade, this could be the one for you.